Hi guys, my name's Stephen East and I'm a qualified CBT therapist, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about how I explain PTSD to my clients. When someone experiences PTSD, I suppose the definition of PTSD is that it's something that happens to you that you weren't expecting, and that's putting it very mildly. It's something traumatic that happens that was completely beyond your sense of everyday experience. So this could be a violent attack, it could be a sexual assault, it could be a near-death experience, violence, anything like this that kind of takes you from your normal everyday life to, oh my God, that was horrific, you know. That's one way of kind of describing it, I think. Okay, so let's imagine there's two cavemen. They go out hunting the same as they do every day, and then suddenly this big brown bear comes from behind the trees and rips one of them in half, you know, and kills him. What do you think the other caveman would do? They're going to run for their lives, right? So they run back to the cave, absolutely terrified of what they've just seen. Okay. How do you think they're going to be for the rest of the day? Yeah, you can imagine they're going to be very, very anxious and terrified and shaken up. Mentally, they're going to probably be replaying the video and the horror that they just saw. They're going to feel very on edge, very anxious. You know, the heart's going to be beating fast. All the fight or flight's going to be still with them. How do you think they're going to sleep that night? They probably won't. Okay, they probably won't. They're going to have this in their mind, this horrific thing that happened. So the next day, how do you think they're going to be? Probably much the same. Do you think they'll go hunting the next day? No, I don't think so. They're going to want to stay away from anything dangerous and keep safe in their cave. Makes sense. Okay. And how do you think they're going to sleep that night? Probably not very well again. Maybe they're going to have nightmares and the brain's going to be reminding them of this horrible thing that they've seen, and that can go on and on and on. Okay. So they get really hungry and they have to leave the cave eventually. How do you think they'd look if you could watch them leaving the cave? You know, you think they'd be walking out like they usually do with their spear, you know, ready to go hunting? I don't think so. They're going to be different. You know, they're going to be very cautious. They're going to be slower. They're going to be very aware, looking for danger. More cautious, more hypervigilant for danger. And do you think they're going to go back to that same place where the bear attack happened? No, they're going to avoid that place. Okay, they're going to go to maybe safer places and keep closer to maybe the cave and not venture anywhere that's unnecessarily dangerous. Okay, so they're hunting and they're going to be very on edge, and then suddenly a brown leaf falls from a tree and the caveman catches it from his peripheral vision. How do you think that impacts on this caveman? Well, it's likely to really bring back all of the same feelings he had, because it's a brown leaf, like the brown bear. It's going to put him back straight in that situation. It's going to feel almost like it's happening again. It's going to get that same sense of anxiety. It's going to get a flashback. It's going to be just like it's happening again. Okay. How does that story fit with your experience of PTSD? You know, often my clients say that it really fits well. You've got a scenario, you've got a situation, an experience that happened that was totally unexpected and blew away their sense of safety. And then you've got the impact of that, of them feeling very anxious, on edge, not being able to function, not being able to sleep, having nightmares, flashbacks, having intrusive images of what happened, intrusive thoughts about it, not being able to switch it off despite trying to not think about it. It's always kind of there. You've got high levels of avoidance, you know, not wanting to do the things you used to do, especially that would be connected with that, with the experience, with the traumatic memory. And you've got things that bring it back as well, so triggers, anything that reminds you of it, like the brown leaf, can kind of take you straight back into that place, emotionally and visually even, you know. It stimulates that memory network of that trauma, if anything's kind of similar. Hence why I want to avoid anything that's similar. Going through this with my clients really helps them to see that this is a normal reaction. You know, PTSD can be seen as a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. A lot of people think that it shouldn't be called post-traumatic stress disorder, it should be called post-traumatic stress response, because it's a normal response to an abnormal situation. If anyone had that experience a caveman had, they'd have the same response, right? It's not a sign of weakness. It's not really a mental health problem, is it? You know, it's not. What I mean by that is it's not anything that wouldn't happen to anyone when they experience something like that, whether it be childhood sexual abuse, being in a car accident, a violent attack, an accident at work, maybe having an operation that didn't go well, or a pain or something like that. It's when we have one of these experiences that takes away our sense of safety, something that we weren't expecting. Okay? And you might be thinking, well, how about people that go to war and, you know, they're in war zones and they don't all develop PTSD? Well, that's because there's a sense of preparedness for that, you know. We have an idea of what that might be. We're trained for it, perhaps. PTSD tends to happen more when we're not expecting such things. Okay. So what does this mean? This means it's normal reaction. It's not, like to say that again, it's not a sign of weakness. You are not weak for having PTSD. You are human. Why would our body do this to us, you might be thinking? Why would we be left with this horrible feeling, this traumatizing feeling? Well, your brain's trying to keep you safe. Okay? And that's a really weird thing to say and a strange way to think about it. But hear me out. We'll go back to that caveman idea. We have that experience. And your brain is trying to keep you safe by saying, look, you nearly died there. Don't go back there. Don't go near anything that's like it, and we might have a chance of surviving. We might have a chance of going on to pass on our genes and have offspring. Stay safe. Your brain's screaming that at you. It's not letting you forget. It's giving you nightmares. It's giving you flashbacks. It's giving you all of these anxious feelings whenever you get anywhere near anything that reminds you of it, to try and keep you safe and prevent that happening again. Okay? It's trying to protect you. But of course, on the other side, it leaves you with this traumatized feeling. You can't sleep, you can't get on with your life, you feel stuck, and that's a problem. Okay. So it's a normal reaction. It's very normal. You know, I'm thinking of one client in particular who I told this to, and they were like, oh my God, why didn't anyone tell me this before? I've spent the last couple of years thinking I was weak, thinking this would never end. Not understanding why I'm feeling this way, not understanding why I can't get behind the wheel of a car anymore, I can't even drive my wife and kids somewhere anymore. I feel like a pathetic human being and suicidal, actually. Okay. So this kind of information can save lives, and I know that is true. I've heard it from people. I've heard it that this information has got them from a very dark place to starting to see their journey of PTSD as being a normal experience that they can recover from. Okay? And I'm getting a bit heavy here. I'm not apologising for that. It is heavy. But PTSD is a normal reaction. All of these things that happen, the flashbacks, everything, all that feeling tense and on edge and on guard all the time, not being able to relax, having intrusive images and thoughts, all normal, and they can be treated. Okay? I'm not going to talk about that too much today because I just want to talk about the normalizing of PTSD experience. But if you do want to seek therapy, then EMDR is a very good choice. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing has excellent results with PTSD. I really recommend that to you. Or then another option could be cognitive behavioral therapy as well, with a trauma focus of that. Also fantastic therapy as well. Maybe you've had experiences of these and you want to leave a comment and let me know how it was. That'd be really good too. So yeah, okay, just to summarise, PTSD, normal reaction to a very abnormal situation. Doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you weak. Makes you strong for living like this after having this experience and surviving, you know. It makes you strong, right? Doesn't make you weak. Okay, that's all from me today. I hope you found it helpful. Thanks. Okay, so I hope you found today's video helpful. As always, please share this with anyone you think could find it helpful. Please hit the subscribe button. Please like the video, and click the notifications so you'll be notified of any future videos that I do. And yeah, take care.